Hello, this is Joe11, and I got a new camera. This is the Sony Alpha a600. It's amazing. I love it so much so far. I haven't actually made very many videos with it yet. Really haven't really tested out the video yet. I need to do that. But so far, I've just been taking pictures, and I think it is beautiful. I love it so much. So, as you saw in my, if you watched my metal detecting video, I said that my Panasonic DMC SC7, which is actually what I'm using right now, I had it in my back pocket, and I think it turned on, and then the lens came out, and then I sat on it, and it crushed the lens in. But as long as it's still working right now, as long as you pull the lens out while you turn it on, and then you adjust the zoom so that it focuses correctly, it works. So that's what I'm recording with right now. But so I bought this camera. I was looking at, actually for the past, like, I don't know, 6 months probably, I've been looking at looking at reviews and watching all the reviews on YouTube of the Sony RX100 Mark III. But why didn't I choose that? Well, I went in the store, went to Best Buy yesterday, and I looked at that one first. That was the first thing I looked at when I got there. Looked at it for a little bit. Basically, as soon as I got in the store and I picked it up, I was like, wow, I don't like this. I don't like this. I just didn't like it at all. So why didn't I like it, and why did I choose this one? Well, the main reason I didn't like it, well, there's actually two reasons, is one, it was just, well, more like three. So one, the size. So the size was nice, that it was small, but it was still twice as big as my Panasonic. So I was like, okay, so this thing is twice as big. So I'm a small person, I have small pockets, so I might be able to fit it in my pocket, but am I going to want to fit something that was $800 in my pocket and get it smashed just like this one and have the same fate? I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to need a neck strap for it. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, you know what? That's just not going to be a good idea. So I decided to, so then after that, well, actually the other things that I didn't like about it were how much, so the lens is very large on the RX100 Mark III, and you only have a little tiny bit of space over here to hold on to the camera. And since I almost always record with one hand, that was like, I could just see that being a disaster, just because you're holding on to like just this little bit like that, holding on to that for like 15 minutes recording a video, that's gonna be not so good. The other thing was it has a fixed lens, so you can't replace the lens, and the macro was very bad on it. You have to move it back and focus, or zoom in a little bit and then focus, and you can get okay macro, but not nearly as good as what I'm used to on my Panasonic. Now, this one doesn't have that great a macro with the stock lens either, but I can get more lenses to go on it because this is an interchangeable lens system. So I can pop this lens off here, and got a sensor there. I forget what the exact size of it. This is not a technical review. There's lots of those out there that are better than I could ever do, so I'm not really going to try to compete with that. I'm just saying why I chose this camera over the RX100. So, the other reason, this is why I chose this one, well, basically, so after I did that, I was like, okay, you know what, that's not going to be worth $800 on the RX100 Mark III. And so I went around, looked at some of the other cameras. I pretty much at first when I came in the store, I saw that these ones, I thought I've basically all the reviews of the RX100, they compared it to the a600 and like the cameras of this line. And so I do know a lot about these, and I knew they were good. I always thought they were more expensive just because I don't know, I just kind of overlooked them as being an option. Also because I was looking for a small size, but since the RX100 didn't meet my size specifications, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. So why not get a slightly larger camera that's cheaper and has more features, it's more comfortable, it's got a better placed viewfinder, it's just going to be better, I think. So my one concern with this camera is that I'm going to have to always have a neck strap with it or in a camera bag, so it might get in the way when I'm doing things like metal detecting, and I might be banging it around, which isn't too good for it, but try not to do that. I'll try to be very careful with it. But basically, as soon as I picked this camera up, I was like, wow, this is what I want. It feels good in the hand. It feels good. It feels solid. It's light, but not too light. It's well built. I could hold this for hours before my hand gets cramped or anything, and I feel like I could get a pretty steady shot with this. So, but that's the first impression. I mean, I also love the ring on here for zooming, and basically all I've been doing so far is just taking pictures. I think I've taken about like 300 pictures already. Lots of pictures though. Let's see here. Yeah, I've taken 330 pictures. So the other thing is it's got a hot shoe. So I haven't tested the video on this yet, so I don't actually know what the microphone is like. I probably should have tested that more, but in the store, but I didn't. So, but this was an open box model, so I got it for, I think it was on display for about $600 and some dollars. Maybe it was close to $700. But since this was an open box model or open box camera, somebody else had returned it before the 15-day. Best Buy has a 15-day return policy, so you can return and get 100% of your money back. So somebody did that, and I guess it was probably too much for them to. They just were like, "Wow, this camera's too expensive and too complicated." So, but I love it. So yeah. But I've always wanted to get it more into photography and stuff like that, and it also does very nice video, and so we'll have to see how the video is. But it has the hot shoe, so if the microphones internally are not that great, I can always add an external microphone. Not that that's very convenient, but I can if I need to. Battery life so far has been excellent. I love all the manual features, like you can change everything manually. I love the EVF, that is amazing. It's really good for getting nice pictures, and not so much for video, I don't think. I'm not going to use it for video, but, well, for one, because I talk while I'm videoing, and that'd be kind of awkward to be talking like that and have it up to my eye, so not too good there, but that's fine. So that's what the display is for here, which rotates around real nice. So it doesn't rotate full around in selfie mode, but that's alright. I don't really do that many selfie videos, and yeah, that would be kind of, I don't know, that'd be weird. So, but yeah, I'm very pleased with it. The menu system is very extensive, to say the least, but pretty much everything's there. I mean, everything and more. So I also connect it to my phone, and that works pretty good. I can upload pictures to my phone really quick, and also sync it or control it with my cell phone, which is really nice. Which might come in handy when I don't know what I'm sure I'll find uses for that. But so yeah, so I'm probably as long as I don't decide to come up with a huge reason that I don't like this, I'm gonna keep it. But if I do come up with a huge reason I don't like it, I'll return it and get something different in the next 14 days. So, and after that period, I'll probably invest in some more lenses and things, because I do want a macro lens for sure, and possibly a telephoto lens would be pretty nice. So maybe some filters, because I've always wanted to get some cool shots with filters. But so yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. Record button could be a little bit bigger, but it is pretty sensitive, and you can record in any mode. So you just, even if you're in picture mode, you can just hit the record button and it starts recording. So, but it has very quick focus. I like the focus, and then you can also manually focus and zoom. I'm not sure. You have to put it on the picture mode, or the video mode, and then you can change it to autofocus, or manual focus, but which will be nice for some things. But I don't think I'll actually use the manual focus that much. Well, the one thing I do like really like about the picture mode is when you this is one of my favorite features actually. So to get the focus, if I want to focus like on a flower or something, if you half push down the shutter, then you use the, so you get your subject, you focus it it auto focuses, and you half push the shutter down, and then you can use the ring around the lens. Oh, I'm not pushing the shutter half down. There we go. All right. Then you can fine tune the focus using the ring around the display there. So I can well, I'm not pushing the shutter down all the way. There we go. So I can fine tune that focus onto a flower or something, and I've been using that feature a lot. I really like that feature. And you can also go full manual and have everything controlled manually, which it can be a little extensive to set up everything. I mean, unless you're a pro. But I mean, all the wheels and everything. So like right now, this wheel here is set up to change the shutter. So this is your shutter, and the shutter is goes all the way from 1 divided by 4,000, 1 over 4,000 to 30 seconds, or bulb. So you've got 30 seconds and then bulb, which bulb would go for a long time. So pretty nice. So I'll probably get some cool open shutter exposures, or I hope to. And it's got the flash, which probably won't use much, because I don't particularly like flashes, or at least on any of the other cameras I've used, I don't like flashes. But it does go back kind of neat like that. What else? The battery life is excellent so far. I've gotten at least I've been playing around with it at least 2 hours straight here, and it's at 20% now. So pretty good battery life there. Okay, so yeah, you can set these all up. There's 3 wheels on here you can control stuff with. So there's this one, which is set up for exposure right now. And you've got this one, which is your aperture, and which is real tactile. I like that one. This one has a nice tactile feel too. The buttons are all real nice on here. And then this one is nice and smooth, which you can set. This one's set up to be zoom right now. And then if you half push the shutter down, you can focus. I think it's probably not actually set up that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's focus right now. But it works very well. I really like it. So there's the focus. So really like it. Here's the door over here for the HDMI and USB, and it has a nice click to it. I like that feel. It's not too hard to connect to Wi-Fi and transfer stuff using NFC. The NFC is a little bit slow at transferring stuff, but that's alright. And then also you've got your battery in here, which is fairly large. It's a nice sized battery. I'm going to have to buy an extra one of those. And I've got my 32 gigabyte memory card in here, which I also bought. It's 90 megabytes per second, so it should be pretty fast. But again, this door has a nice, I like that swing action, that nice clicky feel. That's nice, I like that. What else? Not too much else to say about it, really. I like it a lot. I haven't really found anything to dislike about it, except, well, I wish it was smaller, but you can't have everything. I mean, yeah. And wish the focus was better, but that's because I can get a different lens, so I'll get a different lens for this. And yeah, I mean, let's test out the video quality here. Alright, so here's the Alpha 6000 sound test and whatnot. So here's my old Panasonic, though. So tell me what you guys think of the sound quality. So yeah, here's my Panasonic. I've had 2 of these cameras. This is the Panasonic GMC SC7. So bought these on eBay used. This was I think this was actually $50. First one was $60, but it was a good camera. It served me well. The other one got dropped and the lens is all shattered, but this one, it had similar fate where it was in my back pocket and got the lenses crushed in. It still works, but you just have to. It's really fiddly. So when you turn it on, it tries to grind the gears, and then you have to zoom in and pull the lens out, and then you have to get it to focus. But it still works. So I'll probably still use this as a backup camera, or if I'm going to be really roughing it around and not want to risk getting my new camera scratched or anything. But it's been a really good camera, so I do like it. But again, this one has a nice, I like that spring feel on the door there. It's beautiful. This one doesn't have that great a battery, actually. It probably lasts, I don't know. But it doesn't last that long, but it's long enough. It does a pretty good job. Actually, just noticed this zoomed in pretty far. Should zoom that out a little bit. But it's a good camera. It served me well. And also the a600 came with this charger, which feels a little. It's decent. Could be better quality, I'd say, but it's got a little bit of heft to it. It's not your lightest Chinese junk kind, but it's decent. So okay charger. Cord could be a little better quality, but it's also very short. It's only about a foot and a half. It's very short charging cable. And again, this can charge to using just your average Android smartphone charger. So it's a micro USB, micro mini. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you can see it there. So, and it also came with a lens cap. So, wish it came with a hot shoe cover actually, but it didn't. So, although this is the open box camera, so it might have come with one originally, but the person lost it. I don't know, maybe not. But so, I'm probably going to lose this lens cap, so I should probably buy an extra one or two. But alright, so this is some video, just me walking around, holding it with one hand. That's one hand. This is two hands. We'll see what this looks like. Because this just has steady shot, no steady shot active, like the a600. But it looks like it, just looking on display, it looks okay. So we'll see how it looks. Because I'm going to make some videos of recording in the woods and stuff while I'm walking around. So it's got to be pretty good. There's the forge. Pretty good, pretty steady. Or else that's not too good. But and it's on full auto for video, so yeah. Oh, somebody broke a chair. They were having a fire down here last night, the rest of the family. Oh, was that heck? Pittsburgh. Lots of charcoal there. I think the video footage looks pretty nice though. It looks really luscious. And also the focus is pretty good too. You can see it's focusing on that blade of grass. Now it's focusing over there. Now it's focusing on the blade of grass. Well, not quite. I need to move back a little. Let's see what the zoom looks like. No, it's not. It doesn't like the blade of grass there. It's a little thin. There we go. So look at good focus over there. Focus on the stick. Not too bad. I'm not doing anything there. So I think there's also a setting to speed that up. So I could try seeing what happens if I put that on a higher setting. And that looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. It's accurate. It's really accurate. But that's the zoom all the way in, all the way out. Not too bad. Not using any digital zoom. I don't like digital zoom. So we'll go over here where it's a little darker. Some also flowers. So that's focused over there, and focused on the flowers. Zoom in a little bit. See how far we can. I have to move the camera out though, or else it won't focus then. Yeah, you see if I move it in too close, it won't lock on. It's just too close to this lens. Oh yeah, that's nice and sharp and smooth. Look at that, that's nice. I like it. So, oh, it's a little more choppy when you run around with it zoomed in. I think it's pretty good. So this is left-handed recording here. Let's see what this looks like. Right hand here. Just walking around. So, let's see how that looks. It's a little darker down here. But I'm pretty pleased with this camera. I'm gonna have to get a telephoto lens for it, and macro lens definitely, and also an external charger. But I think the sound quality is pretty good. When I first listened to it, the audio or the video playback on the camera, it didn't sound too good. But once I got it on my computer, it sounded real nice. So it has a little tiny bit of hiss to it, but I think I can, if it really annoys me, I can edit it out, but it's not much. When I played it back on the camera, it sounded like a lot more hiss, but here's my garden. It's a little grown up right now. I have, just because of school and my internship this summer, I didn't have any time to do anything with the garden this year. I mean, I planted it, but that's about it. The peppers did great, everything else did awful. I don't know why, but you can see there's some nice peppers there. The eggplant did good too. There's a nice red pepper there. Alright, well that has been a test of the Sony Alpha a600. So let's see how I like it, and I'll certainly be doing more videos with it. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep experimenting.